Before we begin, please be advised that this show may contain some adult themes and language that may not be suitable for all listeners. Now, onto our show. Welcome to the Sippin Saga Society, where we cover history, mysteries, and overall weird-ass shit. My name is Karina, and today we are joined with Christina and Nevada, our friends, our bestest friends. The best part is that in the intro, I say we cover weird-ass shit, but today we're literally just covering shit because I'm covering hygiene of the book of the before times.
I am so excited for this.
I I don't know. I opened a rabbit hole that I did not think I was going to, and now I'm living in a real, like, my brain is just full of like
You'll
things
never be able to watch like period timepieces the same.
I won't. And here's the no, I will, and I'll be like, it's fine. They've been using this. They were rich. They had resources. It's fine.
That's fair. That's fine.
I
They're
feel like
fine.
I'm not ready for. Should I be eating this go around? Will I be okay?
I don't know
What
how
kind of
you feel
stomach
about,
you have?
yeah, I don't know how you feel
I
about
feel like I have a pretty good stomach,
you're a
honestly.
mom. You'll be fine.
You know what? You're right. Yeah.
You've seen it before.
My child has thrown up on me, right onto me. So,
Me too. And then I was throwing up, and it wasn't even my child.
oh no. Well, I'm ready. I want to hear about it because this sounds really interesting.
Okay, well, first, what you eating? What you sipping, Christina?
So I am sipping on a glass bottled Coca-Cola, which is one of my favorites. I think it's top tier. And then Zach, which if no one knows, my husband, he got me a Seagram's Escapes Spike, and it's called Jamaican Me Happy, and it's lemon, strawberry, watermelon, and guava. So we'll see how that goes. And then I'm eating some saucy nugs from Wendy's.
So you said saucy nuts, and I was like, what the hell is that? You can buy that? That's gross. Nev.
Yeah. So I am on my detox right now. So I've got my nice water and a nice cup of black tea with
Oh,
an and look at this in my cute vintage little teddy bear cup.
oh,
Oh, that's
that's
cute.
real cute.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
You're
sad.
gonna
We'll have
have
to
to
get
post a
no.
picture of that for Mug Monday
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for
so
sure.
everyone can
Send me
see
a
it.
picture of the mug, and then I'll post it the week
I'll
that we put
send
this
it to
out.
you.
That'll be good.
Yeah,
Uh,
listeners, you better watch out for that. Mug
mug,
Mondays.
the mug.
That's the stuff.
I like that mug, but I feel bad for that one teddy bear on that side by itself.
Yeah, he was outcast.
All
He's so cute
lonely.
though. He kind of looks murderous.
He looks evil. Okay, today I have the peach yerba.
Ooh, you picked it.
Mm.
Is it bad? I don't know. I I was just there and they only had like four flavors and I was like, okay, Target, help me.
Have you tasted it yet?
I don't think
It's,
she likes it.
she doesn't like that.
Hmm. Dude, that tastes like earwax. Like I don't know how to
No.
explain it. Oh, oh, ugh. Mm, no. You know what though? But now I know. And how do we know if we like something unless we try and then we try again just in case our taste bud changes? You know? Because
That's
You're
true.
I
you're
used
so
to,
right.
yeah. Well, as I've gotten older, my taste has changed. Like I used to not like mustard, and I really like mustard. Or
Me too.
Mhm.
Okay, sorry. I got
Got real
distracted.
excited. Anyway, so that's what. Well, I'm also drinking a seltzer water. I came prepared because I was like, what if I don't like it? And I don't want to sit here and drink earwax water all day. So yeah. But most of my resources are from the book Wiped by Ronald H. Blumer. This book, I'm 100% sure, is available on Amazon, like Kindle Unlimited, which is how I
Mm.
got it.
Oof. So is it free? No,
It
you
is,
pay for a
well, I mean, but
subscription.
for the Kindle Unlimited, yeah. But it is, I mean, I included a lot of like the big facts, but definitely I left a lot of information. So if you're extra interested in this topic, I highly recommend this book. The author was really good. So he wrote this book after he went on this like tour of Rome and there's a picture in the book of him sitting on the toilet on the 2,000-year-old communal toilet built by the Romans.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
which
talk
I think,
about Roman toilets. I love it.
oh, we're talking about toilets throughout time.
Woo woo!
So it's so good. I can't. Okay. So the seats were made of marble, and the patrons would have their slaves sit on their seat to warm it for them beforehand. So they don't have to sit in a cold toilet.
You know,
Imagine.
if that was my only job, like I'm for real. Like if they were like, your job is to warm the toilet seat, I think I would fucking do that shit.
I do it all day.
You
You just,
telling me
What am I
like,
getting paid?
these people are slaves, so they don't.
see, I just want an easy job. Like, oh, you want me to warm that up for you? That's cool. I'll do it.
If I already have to be here.
Yeah.
I might as well have the most decent of the. I honestly, I think that they like went with them and did things. So they were like, we're going down to that's the part that always gets me, the communal toilet, the gathering center. Sit on it for me. I'm not sitting on it with my bare butt, but you sit on it. Get a
But I'll sit on it with my bare butt after you sit on it with
after
your
you've
bare
sit.
butt.
Oh, that's great.
That's
So
fucking crazy.
I know, and we're not even to any material yet. We're literally just in the sources. So the this guy Ronald, who wrote the book, was like curious about how they cleaned up after they went to the bathroom in this communal toilet place. Because like obviously there was no toilet paper back then, so what were they doing? And so that's how he went down this rabbit hole and started writing this book on hygiene and also toilet paper. It's called Wiped. I love that. Like you're tired. Ugh, I'm so exhausted from all this poop talk.
Very self-explanatory.
I like that.
Truly. So we're gonna start out kind of casual about poop. Like various feelings about literally the act of pooping throughout the generations, throughout the ages. So even whenever we talk about it, oh yeah, disclaimer, this might not be the topic for everybody if you're eating or you're squeamish or you don't like poop. Sorry, Christina. Um,
It's
because
all good over here, baby.
the nugs are an extra character, like they're here with us. So anyway, so yeah, we don't say that we're pooping, right? Like nobody ever really just says like I'm gonna go shit. Like they they usually say like a lot of euphemisms and we don't even call it poop. Like everyone calls it something different, you know? So like doctors will use like stool, feces, bowel movements because you don't want to say poop.
Unless you're
Bowel
in my
movements is my
household,
favorite. Yeah, I was gonna say, Colton's
my
like, I
whole
gotta go take
household.
a shit.
Yeah, Zach says shit. I normally say I have to go poop. Easton's like, I'm going poop.
Yeah.
So
I
Do you
cannot
know?
stand. I can't. It's the fact that I'm doing this is really hard for me because I can't stand talking about poop. I
oh, really?
We call
I
that character growth,
I'm a
Karina.
healthcare
Yeah.
professional. I should be not no. Yeah, like no. I can't stand it. I Evan knows like at this point he does not talk to me. You do I am not we are not friends. I know nobody. I have no family or friends when I'm on the toilet. Please leave me alone. I got nothing to do with you. I need you to leave me alone. And that's when the dogs show up. And
And
That
that's
that's when
part.
your mom calls you.
that's literally I swear to God, every single time my butt cheeks touch the toilet, she's like calling me. And then she's mad at me because I didn't answer. And okay, so when I lived, this would happen when I lived at home, like as a kid. It would
Hmm.
always happen. I would always sit down and she'd be like, Karina. And I'm like, I'm literally in the bathroom. Stop, leave me alone. And so then I moved away from my mom and I live like states away now. I live like 13 hours away from my mom now. And so now she calls me. Instead of like physically, like instead of being in the same room, she calls me on her phone and she'll be like, "Why didn't you answer?" And I'm like, "I'm literally in the bathroom."
She's got that poop sense.
She does,
It's
and
like
she
a
knows. Yeah, I'm glad
no,
she's got that skill for her. I don't know.
girl, I'm the same way though. I don't want people to know that I'm going poop. and do not disturb me when I'm in the bathroom. And if I have to go in like somebody else's house, I'm like, where's your farthest away bathroom? I only say I have to use the restroom. I don't use the words poop, shit, or anything. I'm like, I just need to go to the bathroom. Please do not disturb me.
What happens in there is my business.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I just
I'm
I
like
can't.
an open book compared to y'all.
I
Isn't
I
That
that dinner
interesting?
settled a little too good? I gotta go.
real
Isn't that interesting?
because I will tell you my whole life. If you ask me working
Exactly.
out, I'll tell you everything, but do not be want to be a part of or know about my toilet time. And Evan,
No.
like I literally, literally the other day we were on the phone, we were FaceTiming, and I said, I have to go. I have to do some. I have to have like a personal moment or something. And he goes, have a good poop. He knew,
Oh
'cause
no.
he knew that I was not gonna. I was not. I'm not gonna tell you that I'm pooping, but
That's my business.
it's my business.
I
Why do you
will
That's
tell
really
you
funny.
everything else in my life. I'll tell you, you want to know about my sex life? I'll tell you anything in
literally?
vivid detail. Vivid detail. Not about my poop history, sir.
I
No,
love that you guys are
I,
like that. We
you
got
poop
family
issues.
meetings while I'm in the bathroom. I don't get no peace. I don't get
I
no peace.
literally, Christina, the idea of that is gonna make me want to cry. Like,
That's
I
I
get no
locked
peace.
the
I'm like,
door.
I guess I'm
I'm
just
I'm so stressed by this idea. Like, oh, I can't.
I'm
I
just so used to Easton come in, he be having full conversations with me. I'm like, okay, buddy.
ah,
And then he has the audacity.
It
Because
stinks.
obviously, yeah, I was like, you know that it's not always roses in there. And he's like, oh, mommy, does not smell good in here. Well, what'd you think? Get
excuse
out the
me?
bathroom.
Why you
Get out of my
maybe
face.
maybe
What are
if
you
you
talking about?
minded your business and weren't in here with me, you would be
Okay.
fine.
And then he has like when he goes and like I have to pop in to like get something out of the bathroom. Mommy, privacy. Yeah.
Juniper too, though, but then she'll yell at me. She'll be like, I need you to wipe my butt. I poop.
Uh-uh.
Oh my God, these kids.
Kids are wild, dude.
Another reason for me not to have children. I can't. I
Yeah,
literally can't.
that's
I can barely handle the dogs coming in. And like earlier today, it was all four of them just staring at me. And when it's
Go
not,
away.
dude, when it's
yeah.
not dogs, it's the cats, and it's both cats. And they'll
Oh
both
my
they
Mm.
come in like a
God.
little gang, and they're like, "What's up?" One time, all six of them were around me in the bathroom. Yeah, all six, and all four dogs, all two cats. The cats were on top of me. Howl at some point was behind me on the
They were
toilet,
summoning something.
batting, batting in the toilet, batting in the toilet. And I was like, okay, everybody
No.
needs to
Get
leave.
out.
This is too much. And so anyway, those are our thoughts on pooping. In case anybody was wondering.
Maybe I do have a strong stomach then. I'll be fine.
Fine. You're fine.
I'm
You'll be
fine.
good. If I made it through the note-taking process, you can do it too. You can. I too have been victimized though. So scientists use scat, excrement, night soil, which I had never used, but it feels right.
I like night soil.
Yeah, night soil's cool. Biomass.
Not as cool.
And then, you have kids' words, poopy, caca, doo-doo, number two. I don't know what other people use. I know some people use like boo-boo, which I'm like, it's the same thing as doo-doo.
Some
And
people are like, I have to drop a brick. I hate when Colton comes out of the bathroom and starts telling me about his like
Oh,
deuce.
Zach does that
I'm
all
like,
the time. I'm like, I didn't need to know that.
I like some mystery in our relationship. I don't want to know about that.
that
Rena's face.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
that
and
would
I'm talking about
that
like
would be my
detailed.
13th reason, as the kids say.
Yeah,
I could never. I think Evan knows. Like, don't discuss it with me. I don't want to know. I want nothing to do with that. You keep yourself away from me.
like Zach likes to describe things where I can like he like in the form of like picture.
Yes.
And
And I'm
I'm
like,
just like, I didn't need you to photographically explain that to me. Like, I didn't need to know that much.
that's between you and your doctor, my dude. If it's like
Nobody
they
needs the visual. Mm-mm.
not me.
But speaking of different ways to say I'm gonna go poop without saying I'm literally gonna go drop a poop is in the Old Testament, they used to say that you would go into a cave to cover your feet. Like it's literally in the Bible where King Saul went into a cave to cover his feet, quote unquote. Which I'm
And
like, that would mean he's gonna go poop.
Why did they say, do they cover their feet while they shit back then,
I
Karina?
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I was
Huh.
gonna say I don't
But
really
they said
understand that verbiage.
no, the other ones make more sense in my opinion. So whenever pay toilets were installed in England, pooping became to spend a penny because you would spend a penny to go poop,
Oh.
which makes
You
sense.
had to pay to poop?
Well, in Mexico, you have to pay to go to the bathroom.
Oh, really?
Not all public restrooms are free.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
See,
that's crazy.
we never knew that because we're American. We just
Mm-hmm.
have toilets everywhere. Chinese under Mao said they were going to go to the Hall of Brotherhood, and that meant they were going to go poop.
Be honest, that sounds a little gay.
It does sound really gay.
That does. That does.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the Hall of Brotherhood. A lot of French people say that a person's honor is under pressure. Like my honor is under pressure, saying like I really got to go.
Oh
That,
my gosh.
I like that one though.
So when outhouses were common, people would say they were going to go out to pluck a rose. But real talk, you could just go outside. Like no one knows. There's like I just got to go out right now. I'm gonna go pluck a rose. You know. Ugh. And then people say women will powder their noses. Like that's a pretty common expression around here.
I thought people were actually going to powder their noses.
Yeah, I
I
did
didn't know that
too.
it meant that they were
I
going
thought
to
it
poop.
I thought it meant like touching up makeup and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's also like I'm gonna go powder my nose, but also if you're gonna that's the perfect time to go poop.
Because nobody would
No
know
one
you're
will know.
pooping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you could just say I'm gonna go powder my nose, and it's like, oh yeah, no, I've heard it is used in that way.
They'll
Not
never know.
no, it's a secret.
Which is
I don't
crazy how women are like, I don't know. I don't want to
Smarter
say
than
like,
men.
well, like, because I don't want to say like secretive because like obviously to y'all's point, like it's your business, you know what I mean? But like I've known people that like they have been with their partner or whatever for so long that their partner legitimately thought that like this girl never farts, she never poops, like because they've never witnessed it, you know what I mean?
think that, but it's like, no, we're just hiding from you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, there's a couple more, but they with a little bit of like story time. But in medieval abbeys, they used to call it the necessarium, which I like.
I do
Oh,
like that.
I do like that too.
Like it's necessary. Okay, so a little founding father story. When the first Congress met in 1789, a man was exhibiting a camel out around where the founding fathers were located, right? So whenever they had to leave the room to go to the bathroom, one guy would whisper to another, I think I'm gonna go out and look at the camel. But they were just going out and pooping, which I think is cute. Like the founding father, like George Washington being like, I gotta go look at that camel. You gotta go take a gander at this camel. So not only does, the act have its own little separate name, but also the room where we go potty has its own like a different name in different countries. So like in English, they do like the English would call it a water closet, which is like makes sense when you had the water toilet in there because then
Yeah.
it's a closet where we keep the water. I don't know. Could you imagine? Yeah, that's just the closet I keep the water in. You don't
Why
keep your
is it called a water closet? Oh, because of the
you have
water
a water
heater.
toilet. The water toilet
Oh.
is what I'm assuming. Yeah, because the toilet with the water was in there.
Hmm.
It's a nicer way than saying like the shitter's in there.
Don't say that. I hate that.
That's a very Arkansan. I feel
So
like
so vulgar.
yeah, it's very, what is it, like
it's so
aggressive sounding.
angry.
Yeah.
It is so angry. It's like people are like talking about poop. You're either like, I'm so dainty, or like, it's so sorry to everyone who's in. This is their headphones. I'm so sorry.
I see Karina. She does not like that drink, Karina. Look at her. No
It,
good. I knew she wasn't going to. She's not much of a drinker.
we should have swapped.
It tastes like a wine cooler, but like the alcohol in it is very like stingy, like the alcohol, like when you can smell alcohol.
Ooh, that sounds
It's like
awful.
very that up front. Like I almost
Mm.
feel like I'm drinking
Ah,
scented like nail polish remover.
oh,
Uh,
Almost like that's what
uh,
all I
that sounds
can.
like a punishment.
Yeah, I don't like it. Anyway, continue.
I mean, don't drink it.
I won't. Zach can
Anyway,
have it.
so The next, the other word for bathroom is washing sink or powder room for the Japanese. Like that's the expression they would use. They had a translation, but I was like, I'm not even gonna pretend to even think that I'm gonna know what that is. How is that said? So the Chinese will call it a straw hole, which makes sense, I guess, if you're just going in a hole and there's straw.
Oh, yeah, just dig a hole.
But there's no like real straightforward way. Nobody ever really just says like, that's the poop room. That's the room we poop. I'm
Ridiculous.
sorry. I'm sorry. It's just like the idea of it, of you being like, hey, where's your poop room? Like, like nobody says that. Nobody.
I'm
I
so
feel like
glad.
Easton would like that's something Easton would say.
Like he'd be like, Mom, I
Like
gotta
that
poop.
sounds like a kid, yeah, like a kid
Yeah.
thing. Like that's I couldn't take an adult seriously.
That's me, like me saying it in this hypothetical was too much for me. So can you imagine? Like, dude. Anyway, so the word toilet started from the word toile, French for cloth, specifically the cloth that you drape over a person while their hair is getting powdered and dressed. So it later became associated with the woman's dressing table, and then like where she would do her hair and her makeup and her eyeballs or whatever people do, which then transitioned to the room that you wash up in. So like in the before times, people did not associate the word toilet with like poop because it wasn't used for that. It was used to mean more like getting ready, getting dressed. It wasn't until the 20th century that the toilet became known as the place where the poop was, that it was associated with like going to the bathroom. So we also don't really mention toilet paper in cleaning, not necessarily like cleaning of your body, but like cleaning of your butt. It's not something that we really talk about. I don't ever go to
Your
my friend's
giggle
house.
after you said that, I'm sorry.
I can't do it. Like I can't.
You said your butt.
I was like, oh, it's too much. You know, you really don't though. Like I don't go to my friend's house and I'm like, hey Christina, so like when you have to wipe your butt, how do you do it?
How do you
So how do you do it? Like I don't go up to anybody and just start question, like I don't look at and be like, hey, I saw you had this kind of toilet paper, so how's that working for you? Like I just really,
Oh,
you
you
don't really,
use 4-ply instead of 2-ply.
so you're
What's that
rich?
like? So you're stop.
Look at Bill
Uh,
Gates over here with the name brand Charmin. Hmm,
hmm.
Who do you think you are? So most people really are more comfortable talking about everything but pooping and the act of pooping, which we kind of just discussed a little bit ago. And some people say it's because the act of defecation is an insult to the human pride.
It's like the time you're most vulnerable outside of sleeping, though.
Well, literally, yes. Like you, I think there is somewhere around in my research, there's a quote that was like, nobody is as vulnerable as they are with when their pants are at their ankles.
Yeah.
Like, it just is one of those things. Like, you're not in a powerful position. Even dogs are like, I don't feel good here.
honestly, like I'm saying, like if someone try to jump me in the shower, I will fight your ass, titties out, whatever, swinging. But if I'm on the toilet, ain't no way I'm gonna try to hold in my poop while trying to defend myself.
At least you're already in the toilet. You
You know?
Just
some
shit on them.
Yeah. Put
Oh.
it in your hand and smack them across the face.
Gorillas do it. Why can't we?
I uh, I can't. I literally can't. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna talk about
Sorry.
this. I'm gonna have to talk about this in therapy. Why can't I talk about poop? Help. A guy in the 1700s said that the insides of the body of man is full of filthiness, and they contain his bowels that are full of dung, which represents the corruption and filthiness that is in the heart of man.
That's
That
really deep.
I know. I feel like at that time too, they thought like, okay, there's like, I don't know, 1700s. Is that the same? Yeah, it was around the same time that they were like, well, poop is just your sins coming out of your body.
Yeah, big shames.
Yeah. During the Victorian times, it was even like even the mention of an ankle was too much for the local paper, so the idea of discussing defecation was unspeakable. The Victorians were prudish compared to the people of the past, but most civilizations will still keep like pretty quiet about excretion. Like when they looked at the history of all of this, nobody really sits down and writes about how they manage pooping. And which is the same thing, like it's a shame. Like everyone's ashamed of it. You like to hide it. You like to keep everybody from knowing that it happens, even though we all do it. It's kind of weird. So the Greeks and Romans would poop communally with like, and bathroom humor was super big. So like they would be in there and talking about their poop and have poop humor.
Leave it to the Greeks.
I know, but toilet humor has always been the lowest of the low in humor because it's very vulgar. It is a demonstration that defecation is shameful and should be repressed. And like that's why it's funny because we're not supposed to be talking about it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I
why
didn't
my
realize
kid
it was
likes
so
to do it.
shameful. I
like
was
oh
gonna say Easton too.
yeah. It's a shameful humor. It's a shameful situation. Like that is how most civilizations have seen it. Even Jeffrey Henderson in his book on Greek comedy explains that defecation is indeed one aspect of our lives that must always be hidden. Like for the most part, people don't poop in public anymore.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But for the most part, I'm not saying I'm like in general.
They better not be.
So the no, this is okay.
Sorry.
We're getting to the pictures. The era of poop-related humor before the Victorians repressed all joy was the golden era of poop. We're not talking about like we're just talking about how people feel about poop. Okay. So the Victorians came along and they were like, we're going to pretend nobody does anything. So we're just going to not talk about this. So before that, like the art was super big into poop humor. So I included the first picture is from Gulliver's Travels. I don't know if you all have read that one
Which
or
one?
Gulliver's Travels. It's like an older book.
I don't think
No.
so.
And it's a story about this guy who's like shows up to this little village and it's this guy he's super tall and the people of the village are like tiny tiny people. And so that was you know how stories used to come out.
Babies almost.
No, yeah, I know, but they're people. Like
Yeah.
a long time ago they didn't really have like in the 1800s when books were a thing, they didn't
Mhm.
have like actual books people would go out and buy. They would just put out these little baby versions, like little chapters.
Wait, is this
And
picture a butt?
yeah. So
Okay.
So this book, this was like one of the first installments of this story, Gulliver's Travels. And this one, Gulliver is getting an extreme enema
Oh, is,
this was intended to be the front piece, the front page of the first volume, but the editor decided against it.
Good.
are we gonna talk about the rat almost getting one of the little people in the picture? Do you see it on the little arch thing? I like looked and I was like, they trying to save him. He's naked too.
Why did you have to be naked to give the enema?
Well, how else are you going to get to the butthole?
Are they all putting in work too? There's people on top of each other's shoulders holding that thing. There's people holding the butt cheek. Is what it looks like.
This is gonna have to be the picture for the
There's someone drowning in a bowl.
shut up.
There
There's someone, no,
is.
the guy's holding his foot.
Yeah, he's trying to pull him
The more
out.
that you look at this picture, the worse that it gets. There's so much going on.
I literally was about to say the more I look at this picture, the more I think it should have been the front piece of the classic.
Yeah, it's very
There's like
chaotic.
somebody put a lot of work into this. Like it's very
They really
detailed.
did.
Isn't it so cute? I do
Why
love the
is he covered
detail.
by a curtain though?
This guy
Like,
though is horrifying.
You scared me.
Jump scare. Sorry.
wait, is this guy peeing or does he? This guy right here?
So why did he think
Is he
that this
peeing?
needed? It looks like yeah, he is.
He is
No,
peeing. He is
is he?
100% peeing.
Yeah,
He
he's
isn't.
100% peeing. And on a hat. That's somebody's hat. That's the big guy's hat. Look.
Oh, that is his hat.
He
Damn.
said, I'm a piss on you. I'm a piss
Well,
on
they're
you.
already giving him an enema. They could have let him chill.
The punishment inflicted.
Hmm
What
Yeah,
is it
these
called? A
guys carrying
Louis
a guy in a
Potion
bucket.
fire engine to his posterior.
Yeah, it's an enema. They're gonna fill him with water and make him poop.
But why do they call it a Lilliputian fire engine?
because the people are Lilliputians. That's the name of the people.
Okay.
So
They're using a fire engine?
he's a giant to them. How else are you supposed to give a giant an enema?
How else? How else? Oh my
It's just
That is
God.
science.
wild.
Okay, moving on to the next photo on poop art. It is this can from the Museum of Contemporary Art in Milan. It displays this work of avant-garde artist Piero Manzoni. The cans were numbered 1 through 90. Oh, and for the people that can't see this, I can't describe the Lilliput photo, but it is basically a little yellow jar that says artist shit on it, freshly preserved.
It reminds me of like those small olive cans that you get.
Yeah, but it's full of poop and not olives.
Yeah.
So they were priced by their weight in gold. Yes. So that's how you would buy them, their weight in gold.
So it's real shit
It's his shit. He's an artist.
and he's selling it.
Yeah.
This is the original OnlyFans
I was just gonna say,
selling bathtub water.
talk about a hustle. He said it's preserved, produced, and it's tinned.
It's
And
10.
this says 1961.
I just can't. There's more.
I love it. Thank
Um,
you. I can't
Wait,
wait.
I'm confused. Okay, this is
Okay.
probably, see, this is, I guess, where my, like, a stomach of steel comes in.
All right.
Do you fill the whole can or the can halfway? Or, you know what I'm
Just one
saying?
little
'Cause
nugget,
if it's
one
done
little
by
rabbit
weight,
nugget.
he's probably like, I gotta fill this thing to the brim.
That's true. I
Get
would
a
want to
freaking
fill it.
spatula, flatten it over, put the put the lid on.
Yes.
That's
I
wild.
that you would want to fill it.
That's like that one girl. I forgot what her name was. She was like a gamer or something, or like one of those kind of, I guess you call her technically an influencer, trying to sell like her bath water. He went
I
the
felt,
extra mile though.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
he went the extra mile.
Well, he didn't go far enough because he was not great at putting the cans together, and they all started leaking.
Gross.
Some of them even exploded.
I'm not shocked. Fermented
I'm like,
feces.
yeah, I was gonna say like all that pressure, man.
The smell.
I bet
Oh,
that was, yeah, gross.
You could mail those to your ex. Do you know you can mail like animal feces to people and it doesn't have any returns?
I like that.
I'll
There's a
send
few
you
people that do
the
that too.
website. There, yeah, I have done it to a few people.
now I kind of want to do it, but don't do it to me.
I would never do it to you.
The only thing we're gonna get. We're gonna get fan mail. It's gonna be poop. Anyway,
Elephant shit.
so apparently the fact that it exploded added to the market value to these cans.
You're kidding.
No, that would make sense. They're rarer. There's less of them. There was
And
only,
they're volatile.
yeah, they're sensitive. So just to end our very nice little segment on poop related art that I felt was very important to the subject. And I mean, we were discussing different feelings regarding the subject, so I think it's important. I'm gonna tell you this, read you this poem. It's a folk ballad.
You're gonna read me a poem about poop?
Yes.
Thank you. I love it.
I wish I were a finger ring upon Lulu's hand, and every time she wiped her ass, I'd see the promised land. I had to
Ah.
really focus to be serious on that one. I labeled this religious thoughts on poop. Jewish and Muslim religions have strict guidelines on toilet rules regarding concerns that body purity was connected to spiritual purity. Life and death was connected to defecatory cleanliness. And like everyone had different rules, right? So most Western religions consider poop to be impure, but not the act of pooping itself to be impure, which is kind of weird, I think, but it makes sense. But every Orthodox Jewish male is expected to recite an ancient blessing, the Asher Yatzir, after relieving himself. So, blessed art thou, God, King of the universe, who formed human beings with wisdom and created within him many holes, perforations, hollows, and empty spaces. It's like a lot longer than that, but with this prayer, we are reminded and be grateful for the miracle of bodily functions. And then
Even
the
if
book,
they have diarrhea, they'd have to do that.
yeah, every time you go into the bathroom, you got to say the little prayer.
I would, no, that's wild.
I mean,
I
it
love
kind of
it for
makes
them.
sense because you have that thing where like people pray before eating, which I'm not saying is the same, but like, I mean, you could
I,
justify.
I just feel like you use the bathroom a lot, but I like it. I mean, it is like
I
a
use the
sacred
bathroom
thing.
a lot. No, I mean, it's important. I need to go to the
It's
bathroom.
it's a sacred thing. I get it.
Yeah,
Honor it. Honor thy body.
exactly. Which I was like, that's nice. That makes sense. Buddhism stresses the naturalness and necessity of elimination. Defecation is an inevitable part of the natural order of things. Shit happens, as they say. In former times, the excrement of the Dalai Lama was thought to have magical healing powers. This holy shit was dried, put in amulets, used as medicine, and even used as a condiment for food. The Surgeon General of the United States, Dr.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Please repeat that for me.
I love how you were like, wait a minute. Hold on. The Dalai Lama, like this religious leader,
Yes,
his poop was thought to have magical healing powers.
sure.
They dried it, they put it
Uh-huh.
in stuff, they used it as meds, and they even used it as a condiment for the food.
I'm not shocked. We used to eat mummies,
Oh,
so I
that's
mean,
true. That's true.
but what the fuck?
Yeah,
Hmm.
but can you imagine, like, oh, this food's really good. What's the sauce?
Defecation.
Like, I'm gonna be like, I thought it tasted a little funky, but okay.
Yeah,
I'll try
exactly.
anything once, but I won't try that.
Yeah.
That's what he was singing about. That's what Meatloaf was saying. That's what the song's about. I'm not wrong. Like that's what I would sing.
That's
Anyway,
funny.
so
That's wild though.
mhm.
Hmm.
So in 1889, the Surgeon General of the United States, Dr. W. M. Mew, analyzed the poop for supernatural powers. And in the report, he concluded that the llama had been feeding on starchy diet, but otherwise the poop was unremarkable. So thoughts across the ages. Elizabeth Charlotte of Palatine wrote a letter to her aunt expressing her disgust of excrement. You see a beautiful person, neat, clean, and you cry out, how charming it would be if she didn't shit. I could forgive porters and soldiers and people of that ilk for doing it, but empresses shit. The Pope shits. Admit then that the world is full of nasty people. She felt very strongly about poop. She seems so mad that people poop. Like, God, how dare they?
Are you
Oh, let me
related to
just
this
hold it.
person, Karina?
Huh?
Are you related to this person?
We don't know. Probably. I feel a lot of similar feelings. Um, they have the response though from her aunt. Her aunt Sophie responded, "You must have been in a bad mood when you railed against shitting of all the necessary functions. Shitting is the most agreeable." I love that. I love that expression. It's the most agreeable. The most beautiful ladies are those who shit best. Those who don't shit become dried out, skinny, and as a result, they're ugly. They become raisins.
Dang.
I know. I was like, dang. And you're putting down everybody. She's like,
Yeah, for real.
the Marquis de Sade, the guy that like was like, he wrote this weird book on like, I don't know. I think it's like a lot of Dom stuff. I'm not I don't know. I probably made it up. But this guy, this Marquis of something, felt that watching a woman defecate was the height of sexual stimulation, and he made hundreds of references in his book to where like literally talking about poop, where
Hmm.
watching was only the tip of the iceberg of what he wanted to do regarding poop. And I'm like, that's crazy. Why would you write a book about that?
I'm not a kink shamer, but that's not for me.
It's not for me.
Not for me.
But
Isn't there a thing that
here's
people
the thing.
do
Here's the
with?
thing. This is before the internet. He had to really make a lot of work to write this book and keep it out and about long enough for people now to know about it.
Yeah.
Like you should, I mean, you should have more secrets.
Some things,
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
sorry,
That's like a
Christina.
thing that people do, right? I saw it or like someone talked about in a movie one time that I watched. I forgot what movie it was, but it was like a glass table and the person, you know what, on a glass table and the person is on the other bottom side of the glass table, watching them.
Tina,
I forgot what that's called.
what movie are you watching?
Yeah, what movie were
I
you
don't
watching?
know.
Where the hell did you find this? Netflix.
I
Or my,
bet this Dom guy, whatever his name is, I forgot it. I was thinking about it. Now I forgot it. He'd really like the human centipede.
oh, 100%. 100%. He'd be like, this is the shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said that and then I realized what I said. I think it's the guy that has to do with like sodomy. Sade.
Mm,
I think it's something like that. Anyway,
yeah,
so
probably.
it feels right. It feels around there. So, but anyway, he said that it was like the most taboo, forbidden of fruits. It's a reminder of how much like animals we will always be.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
who's pooping. Yeah.
I mean, and dogs eat shit, so why not?
Yeah, exactly. You know what? That's true. Why wouldn't people do that?
Our egos, I guess.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's probably why we shouldn't be. I mean, among other reasons. There's so many reasons not to eat poop. Like,
There's too many reasons.
there's enough. One is enough.
One
None
is good
is
for
enough.
me.
The subject and consequences of not working on improvement of sanitation in the developing world are avoided by politicians, government, and charities. Everyone's happy with building schools and providing clean water, but literally no one is taking photos next to the toilets that they just built for people in developing countries. 4 out of 10 people will go to the bathroom in fields or by the roadside, and more children will die of sanitation-related illnesses than HIV or tuberculosis or malaria. A recent study in Nepal found that over 70% of children had intestinal parasites causing anemia and malnutrition that came directly related to the sanitation. And over 1 billion people suffer from hookworm spread by improper handling of human feces. So, like, we don't really talk about it. Nobody sits around and thinks about where everybody else is pooping. And then in America, we have the opposite issue where, like, hundreds of people die, 50,000 people die from colon and rectal cancer, which is something that is easily treated or more easily treated if it's caught through a regular colonoscopy. But people don't like to do the preparation because it's uncomfortable. And also, there's someone in your butthole and it's unpleasant, so they don't do it. And then also, from my own experience, a lot of children suffer from like that potty training shame. And then, like, they go to school and they're ashamed to go to the bathroom, and then they're constipated. And I don't know if y'all know this, but if you're constipated enough, you got to go to the hospital and get cleaned out. So even children have to go through that. And it's because we're like ashamed to just like go to the bathroom. It's just so weird. Like, it's so weird. But yes, everyone's ashamed to poop.
That's really crazy. Like I don't know, like because I mean, and I know that there are people that like they don't like go like going to public restrooms, right, to do with their business or whatever. Like there was a girl like on the dance team that like when we were out before games, like she specifically went home to go do her business because she couldn't do it at the school, like or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's like, don't get me wrong, like I'm the kind of person like even if I have to go, like if I'm in office at work or whatever, even if I'm going, I am trying to like I'm just not gonna let it all out like I would at home or whatever, right? In your own private whatever. There are some people they got
Water
no
closet.
shame.
Oh my
I've
God.
been in like stalls next to a lady, like in a, I mean, not saying that corporate people can't do business, but like I'm talking about she's just everything's coming out. It sounds like she's just pushing. You know what I'm saying? Like just, and I'm just like, lady, like you can't even try to, let it go gently. I don't know, like
Maybe it's not allowing her, Christina. Maybe
maybe it's not. I
it
mean, I don't
was.
know.
We
We
don't know
don't
I
what
know.
she
don't
had
know.
for lunch.
We don't know what she had for lunch. But I am the kind of person I'm like, if I gotta go, I gotta go. Like I can't,
Mm-mm.
I can't hold it.
I got rid of that. Like that, I used to only be able to go to the bathroom at my house, and then we went to Mexico, and I was like, "It's a clean bathroom. Gotta go when you gotta go,"
Yeah, 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 yeah.
because they're not all of them are nice.
No,
Anyway,
but that's how I am. That's what I'll tell Zach. Like I'll be like, hey, I have to go to the bathroom. Like, can you find like this certain gas station or like, you know what I mean? Because like
A
they're kind
loves.
of, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like a Love's or a Casey's a lot of the time. Like,
mhm.
yo, yo,
I'm like, I want to go in public. It better be decentish.
nice. Yeah.
Not the
Not,
sketchy gas station where the bathroom is outside the gas station where you have to go in and ask for a key, walk
no.
out and unlock it, and
Oh,
it's
See, I don't like the ones
disturbing.
that's like it's like a as a whole, and it's just a big space
Every
underneath.
national park,
Yeah, you
every
know what I
national
mean? I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, I don't
I
know what
thought,
it is.
I've dug holes and shat in holes, so it's just like in the
yeah, I
woods.
feel
So
like
it's just like,
that's more approachable to me than
yes.
Yeah.
holes because the holes is scary. With the
Yeah.
Like,
like
what
there,
if you fall in it or something
I
comes
don't,
out? I've had bugs fly up while I've been
I
using
Yeah.
want
them.
I watched
No.
I didn't know I was pregnant,
Stop it.
and yeah, and the baby dropped.
She thought it was what? Just like pressure from having to shit? Because like you do
Uh,
feel like that. And then she what?
no, but she didn't know she
Did
was
the baby
pregnant.
die?
No, I think the baby was fine.
But she had to call him. Can you imagine?
Did she climb in or did she call 911?
I don't know. I don't remember. I watched it as a child, and it traumatized me enough to
As
just
it
be like,
should have.
Wait, with the
oh,
umbilical cord too? Or like what happened there?
bro,
Well,
no, now I have to watch it
well,
again, and it's
because the
already
placenta's
traumatic. And
inside you and then it's connected to the
maybe she
umbilical
caught it.
cord.
Maybe she caught. I feel like you would catch it. Maybe
Maybe, or she used the
whatever. She was.
umbilical cord to pull him back up.
I mean,
I don't know if that's not. Well, maybe it's attached. It's part of him. Let's not
dang,
practice.
that's wild. Yeah.
I need to watch this
I
show
have all
again.
these questions now. Yeah.
Anyway, all that to say, that's my biggest fear now is because I watched that show and now I'm traumatized and I will never recover.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Uh-uh. So, how we decided to get clean throughout the ages and not be disgusting. Just kidding, some of us didn't.
Do tell. Oh man.
I know.
Oh man.
In the 5th century BCE, many middle class Greek people had shallow heated baths in their houses. The Romans and Greeks had built public baths, public lavatories, so people like, God, these people never did anything alone. They're in the shower together, they're pooping together. They had an extensive aqueduct system throughout the city that would like carry the water around. So they had their own little sewer system. Rome even had its own sewer system. The lower classes were not as lucky and didn't have access to soap and water, but all the rich people were clean. So good for them.
Good for them.
Unfortunately, in biblical times, people did get stankier. During the start of Christianity, the church founders took sweatiness much further and condemned the practice of bathing. They wanted to be anti-pagan because the pagans were clean because they bathed and they didn't stank.
I'm just saying.
So the Christians were like, let's be the opposite of that, which makes sense, I think, religious wise. So they tried to punish their bodies by making them disgusting. It was an act of defiance not to shower and not to touch water. Literally, they were like, just a touch, just a little bit, just like a drop on a little bit, a little drop. Clean.
Holy water.
I'm sorry. It's just you talking about it reminds me of like the meme from like people for summer, and it's like if I smell you, you smell you. You better stop playing. And
What
that's
the
all I can think about. It's just like sitting next to this person that's like, I refuse to shower. I'm like, okay, buddy.
Well, it's not like I don't have the resources to shower. I want
I,
to.
yeah, I don't want to. Gross.
All that matters, Christina, is the cleanliness of the soul. So really, the body is just here. So many saints admonished baths. They were like, we're not doing it. There's a saint. So there's a saint, Athanasius of Alexandria, who instructed virgins to copy the dove and take little bird baths at home. Just a little flutter. Just a little bit. Muslim religious teachings specified even the shape of your fingernails and how they were supposed to be cut. So there's a big difference between early Christianity and Muslim beliefs. Um, when it became when it came to cleanliness, they believed that removing dirt from the body was like removing sin from the body. So and they're also required to be ritually clean before they pray to God. So in theory, the Muslim people are the cleanest among us. So they have to be
Hmm.
clean and they pray 5 times a day.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
After the plague of the 14th century, the city authorities blamed communal baths for the spread of disease and made them illegal. So then, medical opinion went against bathing because they considered total immersion to be dangerous. You can't be dunking yourself in the water, you weirdos. Strong
We only
smell,
do that to witches.
exactly. All the way in, though. Strong smell was thought to be indicative of good health. So all these people were just really well
Stank ass.
scared of. No, they are doing good. From the Romans until the 1800s, most people were comfortable with never bathing. A wet washcloth to the face or a sprinkle of water here and there was fine, but a shower was a really big deal. A Quaker woman in 1799 felt like it was a big enough deal to write about it in her diary. She said, I went to the shower bath. I bore it better than I expected for not having wet my face at all in 28 years past. So, woo, glad you showered that one time.
28 years.
28 years.
Whack.
My skin would hate me for that.
Well, they didn't care, Christina, because you have a nice layer of protective grime. Oh,
From the sin.
mm.
You wouldn't be convinced to be a pagan.
I feel like I could for the bathing.
I would rather be a penguin. Pagan. Thank you.
Penguin. I would rather be a penguin. I mean, penguins don't bathe either.
Yeah, but they're cute.
They are of the mind that you don't have to bathe if you dunk yourself in water enough. It's summer. The children went into the pool. They're clean for the next year.
The pool has chlorine. You'll clean them.
It's fine. They're clean. In the 18th century, upper-class women began trying to separate themselves from the poors, so they started bathing to get cleaner. And that spread to men and aristocrats and revolutionaries. So then in the 19th century, when clean running water and plumbing came into the family home, this brought mass-produced soap. 19th century, we're getting water and we're getting soap. Woo. So capitalism helped moved along in the 1870s when the biggest and most successful marketing campaign in the history of advertisement. So basically, like, they started getting water in their homes.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. So, like, now we're being able to mass produce soap, and now people can clean themselves. Amazing.
This is probably why Dawn be doing that shit with that duck. Everyone's like, Dawn over here showed me I could clean oil off a duck. I don't have a duck. It's because people in the 1800s didn't shower for 28 years, and we're showing you that it could all the grime goes away.
Christina, I don't have a duck.
I really all those like I saw a thing and it was like Don really be trying to sell us with that duck in the oil. I don't have a duck to clean.
They wash everything but dishes. Everything but
Yeah,
dishes.
everything but dishes.
They used to wash dishes. So the beginning of pear soap. Pear soap was a gentle, transparent soap that was made in limited quantities throughout the 18th century. Then in the 19th century, with the Industrial Revolution, pear soap began selling to the masses. They used billboards, paintings on buildings, newspaper ads, magazines. They wanted it on everything. They even wanted it on postage stamps. Like, this was the beginning of marketing as we know to this day. It's like we're putting our face on everything. Soap in the masses, along with scientific advances where people were like, wow, germs exist. Crazy. Helped to create like a change in like people's mindset on bathing and keeping clean because they were like, wow, these little things are everywhere and they are going to kill us.
But people who believed that too, weren't they like, oh, they're quacks, bunch of heretics. Like,
Oh, I'm sure. I know it wasn't like an overnight thing. It definitely was like a lot of research. I think I have it in here eventually. I think it comes up. Yes, literally in the next few sentences. In a time when 1 in 4 adults was dying of sanitation-caused illnesses and 1 in 5 children died in the first year from infant diarrhea, just the infant diarrhea.
Mhm.
It was revolutionary when German researcher Robert Koch developed the microscope and we could finally see the germs. So then Louis Pasteur was able to identify the different types of bacteria that caused all these different illnesses. And so then they did have like this actual proof of, hey, these little things exist and they're causing all these problems. And just because you can't see them doesn't mean they're not there and they're not making you sicker. This is when people began to get baths in their own houses in the 19th century. In 1860, there were only about 4,000 tubs in all of Boston, which had a population of 178,000. Dang. Imagine like your hometown and being like, there's only 4,000 tubs in this whole town. Nobody showering. And then this is the city of Boston. Like, that's crazy. These tubs were usually located in the kitchen near the stove so they could have water warmed up, like on the stove, and then thrown in through the tub. It wasn't until the mid 20th century that the bathroom became a staple in every family home.
in the
About,
night, wait, in the 19th century, I'm sorry, my brain spaced for a second.
yes, in the 19th century is when people started really getting tubs.
They
Like
were
it
like,
wasn't
hygiene
until
is cool.
Yeah, we should clean ourselves. It wasn't until like mid like 1900s
Mm,
that people started getting actual bathrooms in their house.
Hmm.
yeah.
So that's it. That's the end of our first episode on toilet paper. Follow up with us on the next episode where we'll be covering actually toilets and toilet paper instead of just cleanliness. Thank you so much for joining us. Please follow us on all our socials, both on Instagram and Facebook, and leave us a review. Hopefully, if we get enough of them, we might do a drawing for some merch once we finally make some. So, thank you so much for joining us today. Bye.